And so we talk about small business. Usually that's companies from anywhere from 1 to 25 employees. We have clients all across in just about every product or service sector you can imagine. And when we coach our clients, we use what we call our 7 keys to success. And if you go on our website at MaximumVP.com, there's a drop-down menu for the MVP playbook, and you'll see a nice graphic there for the 7 keys to success. And the two that were the most important here with the story I'm going to share are related to the marketing plan and the organization plan. Those are numbers 3 and 4 in the 7 keys to success. So we had a client of ours who was trying to grow, and he's trying to find the right kind of folks to partner with. Now, what happened was, is often the case, a few weren't quite right, and some are perfect. And as you look back and analyze some of the stuff, there are ways he could have avoided some of those ones that weren't quite right early on. And he wasn't quite paying attention to, some of them were some smaller things, but I think one of the biggest things in this case was he was chasing the bucks, as we like to say. And if you find yourself chasing the bucks, these aren't the bucks that are, the antlers of the deer variety.
That's what I thought they were.
Right.
Okay.
I think there was a commercial for that, wasn't there? The genie. I won $1 million, and
that's right.
Also, there were $1 million deer showed up.
One of those communication problems.
Right. All right. So don't chase the dollar. Don't call it chasing the bucks, but not chasing the money. If you find yourself doing anything for the money, that's your prime motive. It's usually not going to end well, because you aren't making decisions based on necessarily good rationale.
We aren't saying don't pursue profits aggressively, but we're saying there's more involved. There's way more involved with good decisions than just trying to squeeze a buck or two out of the moment. No question about it.
Right. And one of the things that happened here too, so chasing the bucks was one of the challenges with some of these early partners he's looking for. But also, as he's partnering with them, you got to spend more time to get to know these folks instead of just jumping right in. I think in today's world, we seem to be faster at trying to jump into things quicker, instead of taking some time to get to know people. And so with one of the partners he's partnering up with, there was some issues amongst the partners themselves in terms of who was in charge, what they were doing, how they were checking things out. And there's these
all red flags.
Right.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, they were red. They're little red flags, or maybe they're big pink flags. I don't know, but they were certainly warning signs of, deeper issues that were there. But again, because we're chasing the dollars, chasing the money, all of a sudden those things were kind of pushed aside to justify looking past some of these things. And there's a great parable in the gospel, in the verse talking about people that if they can't be trusted with little things, they can't be trusted with big things either. So if you're going to be partnering with somebody and you can't really trust them in little things, what are you doing wasting your time and effort? Because if they aren't doing well, they can't be trusted with small stuff. When it comes to the big stuff, it's going to be a problem for sure, almost guaranteed.
Well, that's true. That's true. You're absolutely right on the mark with that, Adam.
So those little things are going to be important, and also you got to pay attention to your gut. Your gut's pretty educated. You've got some years invested in your gut. So if you don't feel right about somebody, if I look back at my life and the people that I've had problems with, usually it's been the ones that I kind of knew early on that there's something in my gut telling me that this is just not quite right. Even if I couldn't put my finger on it, articulate what it was, as I look back after maybe months or years later when things kind of blew up or kind of headed south, I was like, and often if you got a good friend or a spouse who's there, kind of say, hey, remember I told you that? That's often part of the role that we play, right, Jack? And that's our clients say,
right.
I know you told me not to do this, and again.
How often do they say that?
Right.
And it comes with experience. Those big guts, does that mean the bigger your gut, the more experience you have?
That's usually the case, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's like you tell how experienced somebody is. To check their waistband. That's always a good way to do it, Jack.
I think so. I think that's an underestimated feature today in business and evaluation of people.
So to our client's credit, what's happened is he's had a chance now. He's currently on his 5th partnership, and 3 of those 5 are going very, very well. The first one that I was kind of alluding to earlier, in terms of what some of the slip-ups he was making, he's kind of getting away from that. He's held on to it though. He's been, in his mind, as he likes to talk about, having these little cash registers. Again, going back to the chasing the bucks thing, right? As far as justifying it, but also his style. Going back to Jack's point earlier about disc. His style is such, he's more of a people guy, and so to have those kind of difficult conversations or breaking things off often is tough to do. So he's kind of delayed for those reasons, but it's really kind of coming to an end, which is a good thing. But he got into another relationship recently that's not as good either, but he's recognizing it more quickly. He also has personally been less involved with that, which I think helps him for his style.
Very much so. Well, these clients you're talking about, the pattern is there. With our experience, we know and can see pretty much quickly being defined as a matter of a month or so, what a company needs to get right-sided and on track. But that takes years, many times, before the lights will go on in their mind, because they're coming back to the whole idea of making quick decisions, and they can't do it. They have a habit. The habit is very difficult to change, and that's what we see all the time, and that's what you're talking about,
right.
Adam.
So with these other partners that have worked out pretty well for him, he's done some of the opposite things. Okay, he's not chasing the bucks. He has the way he likes to partner as far as how that works. He's spending a bunch of time with them up front to get to know each other, and they're negotiating some things up front. The first part is negotiating the contract, and so he's being very, very aware of those things, but not rushing into these partnerships. He's taking and allowing months for these things to evolve and to start to take place, recognizing that you're going to have some hiccups along the way early on, and how you handle it, how they handle it, will tell you a lot about how the relationship's going to be kind of going forward. This one that's newer, that's not working, not working so well. There was a little thing. It was going along swimmingly, and also there was a little thing. There was a misunderstanding. There was a simple typo on a Facebook page, and man, this potential partner went nuts and sent a text. And I can't believe you guys are doing also from just a simple miscommunication versus, well, if you're going to handle things that way, and it was just again, it was a simple typo, right? But if you're going to handle things that way, before you're even partners, before you're attached, well, that tells you a lot about that person.
You just know you shouldn't go forward. You shouldn't. I mean, listen to your gut, because it's a big indicator of what's going to happen here. No question.
So yeah, so if you're looking for those kind of partnerships that are part of your business, now it could be partners in terms of what we're talking about here is partnerships outside to help grow the company, but it could be you're actually looking for a partner in your business too. Okay, a couple things to keep in mind. These things apply to both those things. So the little things are the big things. Okay, so these little things that you kind of see, don't just push them aside. Pay close attention to them and see, is there more there that's kind of under the surface that you got to be paying attention to. Don't be chasing the bucks. Chasing the bucks is going to lead you down paths that are wrong. They're going to have you ignoring things you shouldn't be ignoring and making choices that aren't necessarily best for you and your business. And then pay attention to your gut.
Absolutely.
You get a lot of experience in your gut.
How do you folks out there, how do you business owners out there make decisions to bring people on and partner with them? We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you. You could email us at our MVP website, and basically we could, we'd like to incorporate those in on the show. We'd love to hear your stories. You can contact us any number of ways.
That's right. And if you want to do email, you can email us at radio@maximumvp.com. But as you're looking through, if you look through your own personal relationships and partnerships you've had that have gone well, maybe didn't go well, I guarantee one of those three things kind of popped up. Either you ignored those little things, you were chasing the bucks, or you didn't follow your gut. And make sure you sort of do those things going forward to avoid those same mistakes there in the past. So, all right, we want